It was just a kiss. Stop overreacting. She laughed at our bachelor party, so I canceled the wedding before sunrise. 5 months later, she crashed my party and met my new girlfriend. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I was 3 weeks away from marrying the woman I thought was the love of my life. 4 years together, 8 months engaged, every detail of our wedding meticulously planned. The venue was booked, the photographer hired, the invitations sent. My mom had already altered her dress twice because she kept losing weight from excitement. Then Emma decided we should have a joint bachelor/bachelorette party. Come on, Jake, she said, curled up on our couch with her iPad full of Pinterest boards. We're a team. We do everything together. Why should our last night of freedom be separate? I trust you completely, and you trust me, right? I hesitated. Something felt off about it, but I couldn't articulate why without sounding insecure. I guess, if that's what you want. It's more modern, she insisted, kissing my cheek. Plus, all our friends are mutual anyway. It'll be fun. One big celebration with everyone we love. I agreed because I trusted her. That was my first mistake. The party was at an upscale lounge downtown, the kind of place with velvet couches and bottle service that costs more than my car payment. Emma had gone all out. There were about 40 people there, my groomsmen, her bridesmaids, friends from college, co-workers, her cousins. The energy was good at first. Everyone was drinking, laughing, celebrating us. But Emma started drinking heavily almost immediately. Like, concerning pace drinking. By 9 p.m., she was 3 cocktails and 2 shots deep, getting louder and touchier with everyone. That's when I noticed Ryan had shown up. Ryan, her ex-boyfriend from college. The guy she dated for 2 years before me. The one she claimed to be totally over, but still followed on every social media platform and occasionally texted as friends. I pulled her aside near the bar. Em, did you know Ryan was coming? She rolled her eyes, words slightly slurred. Oh my God, Jake, Sarah invited him. He's just a friend now. Don't be insecure. It's not a good look. I'm not insecure. I just think it's weird that your ex is at our bachelor party. Our party, she emphasized, poking my chest. That you agreed to. So either trust me or don't, but I'm not doing this tonight. She walked away before I could respond. Her maid of honor, Sarah, appeared next to me with a knowing smile. You gotta loosen up, Jake. Emma's just having fun. Don't be that guy who controls his fiancée at her own party. I wasn't trying to control anyone. I just wanted my future wife to not make me uncomfortable 3 weeks before our wedding. But I dropped it. I went back to my groomsmen, had a few drinks, tried to enjoy myself. Around 11 p.m., I went to the bar to grab another round for my guys. When I came back to the VIP section, I saw them, Emma and Ryan, on the corner couch, making out. Not a peck, not an accidental brush of lips. Full-on making out, his hand on her lower back, her fingers in his hair. Multiple people were staring. Her bridesmaids were watching with their mouths open. My best man Marcus looked at me with pure horror. I walked over calmly, drinks still in hand. I set them on the table. The sound made Emma break away from Ryan. She looked up at me, mascara smudged, lipstick gone, and started laughing. Oh my God, Jake, relax. It's just Ryan. I stared at her, really looked at her. The woman I was supposed to marry in 3 weeks was laughing at me while her ex-boyfriend smirked beside her. We're done, I said quietly. The wedding's off. Her laugh died. What? Are you serious right now? Completely serious. We're done, Emma. She stood up, stumbling slightly. You're seriously overreacting right now. It was just a kiss. We're getting married in 3 weeks. Not anymore. Ryan finally spoke up, that same smug expression on his face. Dude, she's drunk. Chill out. I ignored him completely. Kept my eyes on Emma. Don't contact me. We're done. Sarah rushed over, grabbing my arm. Jake, come on. She's just drunk. You're really going to ruin the whole night over this? Everyone's watching. I'm leaving. Don't contact me. I repeated. Emma's face shifted from shock to angry in seconds. Fine. Maybe I dodged a bullet. You're so fucking uptight. No wonder she cut herself off, but the implication hung in the air. I turned and walked out. Got an Uber. Went home to the apartment we shared, the apartment that was under my name, my lease. My phone started buzzing before I even got in the car. By the time I got home, I had 12 missed calls and 20+ texts from Emma. I read none of them. I poured myself a bourbon, sat on the couch, and just processed. For years. Gone in one night. And somehow, I felt relieved. My best man Marcus texted around midnight. Bro, I saw everything. Multiple people saw. I'm here if you need me. That was fucked up. Then another text, from Lisa, one of Emma's bridesmaids. I'm so sorry, Jake. That was disgusting. You deserve so much better. I thanked them both and turned off my phone. When I turned it back on the next morning, I had 47 missed calls and dozens of texts from Emma. I scrolled through them, watching her emotional progression in real time. 2:13 a.m. Jake, please answer. I'm so sorry. I was drunk. Can we please talk? 2:47 a.m. Jake, answer your phone. We need to fix this. 3:21 a.m. You're really going to throw away 4 years over one mistake? Are you serious? 4:05 a.m. You know what? You're being ridiculous. Everyone makes mistakes. You're acting like I slept with him. 5:38 a.m. My mom is calling me crying. You need to fix this. The wedding is in 3 weeks. 7:15 a.m. Jake, I'm outside. Let me in. We need to talk. I looked out the window. Her car was there. I didn't open the door. At 9 a.m., I called the wedding venue. Grand Meridian Events. How can I help you? Hi, this is Jake Morrison. I need to cancel my wedding for October 14th. There was a pause. Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. You understand you'll lose all deposits? That's nearly $6,000. I understand. Cancel everything. May I ask what happened? The wedding isn't happening. That's all I can say. I spent the next 4 hours systematically dismantling our wedding. Called the florist, lost $800. Called the photographer, lost $1,200. Called the caterer, lost $2,500. The DJ, the cake baker, the transportation company. Every call was the same. Polite, brief, final. I probably lost close to $8,000 that day. I didn't care about a single dollar. Then I called a locksmith and had the apartment locks changed. Packed all of Emma's things into boxes and arranged for Sarah to pick them up while I was at work. I didn't want to see Emma again. At noon, I sent a group text to all 120 wedding guests. The wedding scheduled for October 14th is canceled. No need to reach out. Thank you for your understanding. That was it. No explanation. No details. Just the facts. My phone exploded. Emma called 15 times in 10 minutes. Her mother called. Her father called. Sarah called. Other bridesmaids called. I blocked every number except Marcus and Lisa. Around 6 p.m., Emma showed up at the apartment. She pounded on the door for 20 minutes. Jake, open the door. You can't just throw me away. I made one mistake. One. After 4 years, you're just done? Let me in. Jake. I sat on the couch, bourbon in hand, noise-canceling headphones on, watching her shadow under the door. A neighbor must have called building security because eventually someone came and escorted her out. I heard her sobbing in the hallway. He changed the locks. He won't even talk to me. I felt nothing. The next week was a blur of people trying to contact me on Emma's behalf. Her college roommate somehow got my work email. Her cousin DM'd me on Instagram before I blocked her. Even Emma's dad called my dad, trying to get him to convince me to work it out. My dad's response was simple. My son's a grown man. If he says it's over, it's over. Don't call again. Marcus kept me updated on what was happening in our mutual friend circle. Apparently, Emma was trying to spin the story as just a drunk kiss, and me as controlling and vindictive. But too many people had been there. Too many people saw. Videos existed. Ryan had ghosted her immediately, of course. Turns out he had a girlfriend he'd been with for 6 months. He just wanted to hook up with his ex one more time for the ego boost. When his girlfriend found out, she confronted Emma publicly at a bar. More humiliation. Emma's bridesmaids were divided. Sarah and 2 others stood by her, claiming I was throwing away 4 years over nothing. But Lisa and 3 others had completely distanced themselves. They'd seen Emma's true colors that night. The entitlement, the disrespect, the cruelty when I didn't react the way she wanted. I threw myself into work. My boss had been hinting at a promotion for months. Senior project manager, salary bump, better office. I'd been hesitant because Emma had opinions about me working longer hours. Now, I went for it hard. took on extra projects, volunteered for the difficult clients, worked weekends. I also started therapy. Not because I was broken, but because I wanted to understand why I'd ignored so many red flags with Emma. The joint party, the constant boundary pushing, the way she'd always need to be the center of attention, even at events that weren't about her. 2 months after the canceled wedding, I got the promotion. I also moved to a better apartment across town, a clean break from any space Emma and I had shared. Lisa and I had been texting occasionally, just friendly check-ins at first. She'd send me memes, I'd send her restaurant recommendations. It was easy and comfortable, no pressure. We met for coffee one Saturday, and I realized I was actually enjoying myself. Really enjoying myself, in a way I hadn't with Emma in months, maybe years. "Can I ask you something?" Lisa said, stirring her latte. "Sure. Did you love her? Like, really love her?" I thought about it. I think I loved who I thought she was, or who she pretended to be early on. But the real Emma? The one who showed up that night? No, I don't think I loved that person. Lisa nodded. I was her bridesmaid for 2 years of planning. I saw how she talked to you sometimes, when she thought no one important was listening. The little digs, the dismissiveness. That night wasn't out of character for her. It was just the first time she did it where everyone could see. Why'd you stay friends with her? I didn't really. We were sorority sisters, stayed in touch out of obligation. After that night, I told her I couldn't support what she did. She called me a traitor. Lisa smiled sadly. Lost a few friends from that group, but kept my integrity. We started seeing each other more after that. Casual at first, movies, dinners, hiking. Lisa was kind in a way that felt foreign after Emma. She asked about my day and actually listened. She laughed at my jokes without the edge of judgment. She never made me feel like I needed to prove myself. 3 months after the canceled wedding, we made it official. But we kept it private. Neither of us posted on social media. We weren't hiding, but we also weren't advertising. It was just ours. Meanwhile, Emma's life was apparently falling apart. Marcus kept me loosely informed, though I never asked. Her parents were furious with her. They'd lost money on the wedding too, and their extended family was asking uncomfortable questions. Some of her friends had drifted away, tired of her victim narrative. She'd posted cryptic Instagram stories about toxic people and fake friends and growth, but everyone could see through it. She was still living with her parents, still single, still occasionally texting me from new numbers that I'd immediately block. Then came the email. 3.5 months after everything imploded. The subject line was, "Please read this." Against my better judgment, I opened it. "Jake, I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from. I know I have no right to ask anything of you, but I'm asking anyway. I've been in therapy twice a week since everything happened. I've been diagnosed with anxiety and abandonment issues stemming from childhood trauma I never addressed. I'm on medication now. I'm doing the work. I realize now how much I sabotaged us. You were the best thing in my life, and I destroyed it because I was scared. Scared of commitment, scared of being truly vulnerable, scared that you'd leave me eventually, so I pushed you away first. The thing with Ryan, it meant nothing. He was nothing. It was self-destructive behavior because I was terrified of our wedding. I know this sounds like excuses. Maybe it is. But I'm a different person now. I understand what I lost. I understand that I had a man who loved me, supported me, respected me, and I threw it away for a meaningless moment with someone who didn't even care about me. I miss you. I miss us. I miss coming home to you. I miss our Sunday morning coffee routine. I miss the way you'd leave me post-it notes on bad days. I miss everything. Can we please just talk? Just once. I'm not asking you to take me back. I'm just asking for a conversation. Please. I still love you. Emma, I read it twice. Then I deleted it. Didn't respond. Didn't acknowledge it. Just deleted it and moved on with my day. Lisa and I were cooking dinner together that night when I mentioned it. She sent me an email. I said, chopping vegetables. Lisa looked up from the stove. Emma. Yeah. Long one. Lots of therapy speak and apologies. How do you feel about it? Nothing really. I felt more reading a work email about parking spots. Lisa smiled and went back to stirring the sauce. That was it. No jealousy, no insecurity, no drama. Just acceptance and moving forward. A week later, Sarah called me from a number I hadn't blocked, her work phone. Jake, it's Sarah. Please don't hang up. Sarah, I'm not interested in, Emma's a mess. She really loves you. She's been in therapy. She's changed. She just needs. Sarah, I'm going to stop you there. What Emma needs is not my concern anymore. I'm not interested in discussing this. Don't contact me again. She made one mistake. You were together 4 years. How can you just, one mistake that showed me exactly who she was? I'm hanging up now. Goodbye. I blocked the number. 2 weeks after that, Emma's mother showed up at my office building. The receptionist called me, confused. Jake, there's a Mrs. Patterson here. She says she's your former future mother-in-law. She's pretty insistent about seeing you. I sighed. I'll come down. Mrs. Patterson was in the lobby, looking older than I remembered. Tired. She stood when she saw me. Jake, please. Just hear me out. Mrs. Patterson, I'm at work. There's nothing to discuss. She's not eating properly. She's depressed. She barely leaves her room. You meant the world to her. I kept my voice level, professional. Then she should have thought about that before making out with her ex at our bachelor party in front of 40 people. I need you to leave, please. You're really going to throw away 4 years? Just like that? She made one mistake. One mistake that revealed her character. I'm not throwing anything away. I'm protecting myself from someone who disrespected me publicly and blamed me for being upset about it. Now please leave, or I'll call security. Her eyes filled with tears. She's my daughter. I'm watching her suffer. I'm sorry she's suffering, but that's not my responsibility anymore. Goodbye, Mrs. Patterson. I walked back to the elevator and didn't look back. 5 months after everything fell apart, Marcus got engaged to his girlfriend of 3 years. The engagement party was at a nice restaurant downtown, about 30 people invited. I was there with Lisa. We'd been together for 2 months officially, and I was happier than I'd been in years. Lisa looked beautiful that night. A dark green dress, her hair up, that easy smile that made everything feel lighter. We were at the bar grabbing drinks when Marcus came over, looking uncomfortable. Hey man, I need to give you a heads up. Emma just walked in. I didn't invite her, but she's friends with some of Jess's bridesmaids, and apparently word got around. I looked across the room. There she was, Emma. She'd lost weight, looked tired, but she'd clearly tried to dress up for the occasion. Her eyes were scanning the room, and when they landed on me and Lisa standing close together, her hand on my arm, her face went pale. It's fine, I told Marcus. Congratulations, by the way. Don't worry about it. You sure? Completely. I turned back to the bar, ordered our drinks, and tried to enjoy the party. But I could feel Emma's eyes on me all night. Lisa noticed too, but didn't say anything, just stayed close and kept the conversation light. It was inevitable that Emma would approach. I was alone at the bar. Lisa had gone to the restroom when Emma materialized beside me. Jake, can we talk? I barely glanced at her. There's nothing to talk about. Please, just 5 minutes. I've been trying to reach you for months. I know. I'm not interested. She was twisting her clutch in her hands, nervous energy radiating off her. Are you here with someone? That's not your concern. Jake, please. I made a mistake. One mistake. Don't I deserve a second chance? Don't 4 years mean anything? I finally turned to look at her fully. She looked hopeful, desperate. I felt absolutely nothing. Emma, I don't think about you anymore. What happened at that party showed me exactly who you were. I'm grateful it happened before the wedding instead of after. You're with someone. It wasn't a question. Her eyes were filling with tears. Already? After everything You made out with your ex at our joint bachelor party in front of everyone we knew. You laughed at me when I was upset. You called me uptight for having boundaries. You lost the right to have opinions about my life that night. I was drunk. I told you I was sorry. You just threw me away like I meant nothing. No, you threw us away. I just accepted it. Lisa returned then, 2 drinks in hand. She handed me mine and smiled politely at Emma. Hi, I'm Lisa. The recognition hit Emma's face like a slap. You were my bridesmaid. You were my friend. Lisa's expression didn't change. I was at the party that night. I saw what you did to him. What kind of friend does that? You don't understand. I was going through. Emma, I interrupted, my voice firm. I'm going to ask you to leave. You weren't invited to this party. Jake, please. Her voice cracked. I know I don't deserve it, but I love you. I always have. We can start over. I've changed. I'm in therapy. I don't love you. The words came out easier than I expected. I don't think I did for a while before that night. You did me a favor, Honestly, I'm happier than I've ever been. I hope you figure your life out, but do it away from me. Don't contact me again." Something shifted in her expression. The sadness evaporated, replaced by anger. Her mask finally slipping. "Fine. You know what? You weren't that great anyway. I settled for you. Ryan was better in bed. The guys I've dated since have been better. You're boring, Jake. You were always boring." I couldn't help the slight smile. There it is. The real Emma. Thanks for the confirmation. Take care. I turned back to Lisa, effectively dismissing Emma from the conversation, from my attention, from my life. I heard her sharp intake of breath, heard her heels clicking away fast. Marcus appeared moments later, apologetic. "She's leaving. I'm so sorry, man." "Don't be. It needed to happen." Lisa squeezed my hand. "You okay?" I looked at her, really looked at her. At this woman who respected me, supported me, made me laugh, never played games or tested my boundaries. At this woman who'd walked away from her friend group because she had integrity. At this woman who made me feel chosen every single day. I'm perfect, actually. We stayed for another hour, celebrating Marcus and Jess, laughing with friends, living our lives. At one point, I caught Marcus watching me with this relieved expression. "What?" I asked. "You're different, man. Lighter. Like you're actually here, you know? With Emma, you always seemed like you were bracing for something." He was right. I had been. Always waiting for the next criticism, the next test, the next impossible standard. With Lisa, I could just be. We left the party around 11, walked to my car hand in hand. The night was cool, clear. I felt good. Actually, genuinely good. "Thank you," Lisa said as I opened her car door. "For what?" "For handling that with so much grace. For not making it weird or dramatic. For just being you." I kissed her forehead. "Thanks for being exactly who you are." As I drove us home, to our home, because she'd moved in 2 weeks ago, I thought about Emma. About the 4 years I'd given her, the future I'd planned with her, the version of myself that had contorted to fit her needs. And I felt grateful. Grateful that she'd shown her true self before I'd legally tied myself to her. Grateful that her cruelty had freed me. Grateful that rock bottom had led me to something real. My phone buzzed at a red light. A text from an unknown number. "You're going to regret this. You'll never find someone who loved you like I did." I deleted it without responding. Blocked the number. Lisa glanced over. "Emma. Yeah. You okay?" "I really am." And I meant it. Because the truth was, Emma was right about one thing. I'd never find someone who loved me like she did. Thank God for that. I'd found someone who loved me better, honestly, respectfully, without games or tests or public humiliation. I'd found someone who made me want to be better without making me feel like I wasn't enough. I'd found someone who chose me every day and never made me question it. 3 weeks ago, I'd been preparing to marry someone who'd throw me away for a moment of attention. Now, I was building a life with someone who saw my value and protected it as carefully as I protected hers. Emma had done me the biggest favor of my life when she kissed Ryan that night. She'd freed me from a future of walking on eggshells, of never being quite enough, of loving someone who saw me as a placeholder until something better came along. The wedding was supposed to be tomorrow, October 14th. Instead, I'd be taking Lisa to the mountains for the weekend. We'd hike, make breakfast together, sit by a fire, and plan our actual future, one built on respect and honesty instead of obligation and fear. Sometimes the worst thing that happens to you turns out to be the best thing that could have happened. I never responded to Emma again. Not to that text, not to the emails that followed, not to the birthday message 6 months later, not to the "I miss you" text a year later. She became what she should have always been, a stranger who taught me what I didn't want. And I became what I'd always deserved to be, a man who knew his worth and refused to settle for less than someone who saw it too. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.